Push versus pull marketing. What's the difference, and does it even matter? I'm here to propose that there's a huge difference, and it really matters. One will get you way easier results, and that's what you're going to learn in this episode. In this episode, you're going to see many examples of push versus pull marketing and the modern form of pull marketing that works best today. You'll also come away with an understanding of the pros and cons of both push and pull marketing. We'll even tie in business networking and content marketing, and then we'll wrap up this video talking about YouTube and the opportunity that's there. Okay, so let's first talk about push marketing. That's the type of marketing that everyone is familiar with, and there are a lot of examples of that, from billboards to magazines to banner ads, the junk mail we get in our mailbox, things that we hear on the radio. We get a lot of spam in our email, or we see a lot of things pushed upon us in social media, video ads. Really anything that's a commercial or that's an advertisement that is pushed upon you or that interrupts you. So you're there consuming content, or you're just driving down the road and something is pushed upon you. So these are all examples of push marketing, and it's the type of marketing that people are annoyed by, that we don't want to have in front of us. So with the advent of the internet, there were new types of marketing, both push and pull. The original form of pull marketing was a website, and you did search engine optimization. So you created content and videos or other information on your website in hopes that it would rank on Google and you would pull in people that were searching for that content. This was an awesome phase of marketing. It allowed us to do marketing without having to be pushy. I mean, think about that. It was totally new, but it very quickly became extremely competitive. Now, as cool as it was, there is something better. Website SEO is a thing of the past. A lot of people still think that website SEO is cutting edge, and there's a lot of SEO companies out there still heavily promoting their services. There are a couple of spaces that are still important, like local search, showing up on maps in your local area as a business, but that doesn't take a whole lot of SEO work. Just get some good reviews from your clients. What I'm most excited to share with you is the modern form of pull marketing. So now I want to share some new examples of pull marketing, and I want to change the word. I want to talk about it as content marketing. What is content marketing? We used to really focus on the website and making sure that the website had all of our content, that it was positioned in the best way, and then we did SEO to get that website to rank on the top of Google. We were really hoping to get a lot of traffic to our website. You know what? That strategy is history. That strategy is old news. Most people don't realize that. But the new strategy is content marketing. You can have a piece of content out there that doesn't reside on your website. You put it on YouTube, or you put it on Facebook. You post it anywhere else, it will get way more traffic because those websites have way more authority. To have a presence online used to mean having a website, okay? Websites still have a purpose, but they're drastically different. Now, the main purpose of a website should be conversion. It's a landing page. It's where you're collecting leads. To have a presence online, you have a presence anywhere on the internet. It can be on YouTube or any social media platform. Now, that probably sounds weird to you. You probably feel some resistance to that. But I made a discovery many years ago that really convinced me of the value of this. Okay, so I had a web design company. I had an SEO service that really worked. We'd create an SEO page. So this page on the website, we did a lot of work to get this page to compete and make it to the top of Google. One of the little pieces on that page was a how-to video. That video resided on YouTube, but we displayed it on the web page, and it was one of the things that helped that page rank #1 on Google. Well, I noticed one day that this how-to video over on YouTube was getting 50 times more views than this entire page ranking #1 on Google. That just caused something to click in my mind. I noticed that this video that took just a fraction of the effort to create was getting more results. YouTube already had the authority. I didn't have to do SEO to get my video to rank because I followed a keyword research strategy that I didn't realize how important it was. I put that video on YouTube and it ranked instantly and started pulling in traffic. Whenever I start talking about YouTube, I keep talking, but I want to talk about all pull marketing or all content marketing. What about LinkedIn? Yeah, putting an article on LinkedIn can get you a lot more results and a lot more traffic for the effort than doing SEO on your own website. I've even seen a Q&A site like Quora. You can go there and answer a question and get more leads and more traffic from just answering a question thoroughly than by doing SEO on your own website. Now, one that I haven't mentioned is a podcast. Okay, a podcast you need to have a marketing strategy for, but you're just putting content out there, you're building a relationship with your audience, and if you have the right offer or the right call to action to, say, a lead magnet, you can generate leads from that without them ever having to go to your homepage of your website. The number one example of pull marketing that I've discovered and that I use is video on YouTube. You make a how-to video, you put it on YouTube, and it automatically pulls in the people who are searching for your expertise. You just give them value. You don't sell, you don't have to pitch anything. Then at the end of the video, you give them a free gift. So your call to action is something like, hey, now that you've watched this video and you've learned this principle, I have a free gift for you. Go ahead and click the link below. So you're giving them more value, and that's how they become a lead. So now you've seen some good examples of push marketing and pull marketing. Is there anything in between? Well, I would say business networking, where you're going out and you're meeting people, you're making relationships, you're exchanging business cards. The advantages to networking is you really get to meet people in person and build rapport. The disadvantages of networking is it takes a huge amount of time. I mean, you really have to dedicate a lot of time to go out and to network or to go to different events. And also you have to really sort through a lot of people who aren't qualified. I found that if you go to a mastermind that just anyone is invited to and they market it to everybody, they're pretty low quality masterminds. But if you go to an event or to an expo or something like that where there's a fee people have to get in, there's a more narrow type of audience, you can have better results there. It's kind of weird to me to think about it this way, but the more money that you pay to go to an event, the more likely the people that you network with will be ideal clients. I have to say one thing here though. Make sure when you go to these events that you go as a giver, not a taker. I've learned that from personal experience. I've gone to an event where I was hoping to find clients. So I was there as a taker, hoping to find customers. That doesn't go over so well. But since then, I've joined groups or I've gone to events where I've gone as a giver. I'm just ready to share and help and give advice. I've developed some great friendships and I've gotten some great clients. I want to transition just for a minute and talk about how to sell from the stage, because there's definitely a way of push marketing and pull marketing when you're on the stage. I don't like push marketing from the stage. It's so foreign to me. It's so against my nature. When I've tried to do it, it just comes across the wrong way and no one wants to buy from me. But when I just share my expertise or I train from the stage, I get a lot of hand raises. People start to participate. They ask lots of questions. So when I finish, I feel great. Everyone's very kind and they want to come and meet me. And then people follow up with me afterwards to become my clients. I love that. I love that I don't have to push. But I just share, I just teach and I give and I build relationships, and then people search me out. Now there are some advantages to advertising, so let's talk about those. First, it's immediate, right? You turn on advertising and you immediately start getting leads. The next result is also pretty amazing because it's scalable. If you spend $1,000 and you get a great result, you can spend $10,000 and get 10 times the result. You can spend $100,000 and get 100 times the result. Yeah, you could really scale advertising. Now, I also learned this principle of a magic box from Russell Brunson. So picture this, there's this magic box and you put in $1 on this side and somehow magically $2 comes out on that side. Once you've figured out that magic box in your business, then that's what paid advertising can do. You can just put in more and more money on this side and getting, the bigger return on the other side. That's the advantage of paid advertising. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of advertising. And there are 3 that I think are pretty big, pretty significant disadvantages. The first one is that it's short term. When you do advertising, you've got to pay money to turn it on, but as soon as you stop paying that money, it stops. I mean, even with a billboard, okay, we pay to put up a billboard. As soon as you stop paying, guess what? Somebody else's billboard comes and covers it over. Or banner ads or Facebook ads. As soon as you stop paying, those ads stop, and so you instantly stop getting leads. Another huge disadvantage of push marketing or traditional advertising is that the leads are very low quality. We're going out to the masses. We're sorting through all the numbers and we're just getting a lead here or there that are typically very low converting. Most of the leads that you get are actually not qualified for what you sell, or they're not interested. And then the third huge disadvantage is that it's expensive. It's a lot of money to push your message out there because most people aren't qualified and you have to go to so many people, you have to pay a lot of money to do that. As you've probably noticed, pull marketing has some great advantages. The first one is that it's long-term. You make a video that pulls in traffic to you, your ideal clients, that video will stay there for years and years and years and continue to bring you leads and customers. Now, this next one is going to sound crazy, but I've actually experienced it. If you stop producing videos on your YouTube channel, all the videos you've already produced continue to bring you results. There's a channel that I produced for an entire year following my strategy. At the end of the year, we decided to stop, not because the strategy was broken, but because the business was broken. She didn't have a way of taking these leads and selling anything. She really didn't know what she was selling or what she wanted to offer. So I said, let's just figure this out so we know how to monetize the channel before we continue to invest this time and money. Well, she never figured it out, and in fact, she closed her business down, but the channel itself continued to grow. It continued to grow in subscribers. It continued to grow in ad revenue. In fact, for something that wasn't making any money, today that channel is paying me $1,000 per month. Another huge advantage to YouTube is the leads that you generate are referral quality. Think about that for a minute. Okay, when you do paid advertising, the leads that you get are very poor quality. You have a very low conversion rate of the number of leads to the number that becomes customers, and typically they buy lower priced product. But on YouTube, these are people that feel like they know you and they trust you, and by the time they become a lead, they're ready to buy something. They might not know what you offer, but as one of my clients says, they come to you with credit card in hand saying, I want to buy from you. What do you sell? And then the last benefit I want to mention is that you really build a loyal following. When we're talking about subscribers on YouTube, these are people who really subscribe to your channel because they want to see more videos from you. I have an example that's kind of unique that really illustrates how loyal a following is. So this channel Veritasium, the guy Derek Moeller, he makes science videos, and he built his channel to millions of subscribers. Then he had an idea to create a science product. Okay, so it was this magnetic molecule kit. He launched a campaign on Kickstarter. He was hoping to raise $42,000. Well, he had such a loyal following, people that loved him, they really wanted to support it, and they wanted to buy this product. Over the few weeks of this campaign, he raised over $500,000. Having a loyal following is a pretty big deal. So you can tell I love pull marketing. Are there disadvantages to that type of marketing? And there is. It's slow and gradual, okay? It takes time to build that momentum. Even when I talked about selling from the stage, right? I'm not making a sell right then, right when I get off the stage. People aren't flooding back to the back of the room. You know, I need to give it some time and see, and sometimes people don't follow up with me. But I nurture them, and the biggest way that I nurture is YouTube, right? I build a following, I teach the strategies and share my expertise, and it can take a while. With my clients, I let them know that the first 4 months are going to be pretty boring. We're doing a lot of work. We're putting a lot of content out there on YouTube. Video is really hard work. And to put all that work and time and effort and financial investment into it and to not see results for the first 4 months is pretty hard. Even then, it's probably going to take a year or so before you really have the momentum that you're looking for. Now let's talk about the advantages of YouTube marketing, because YouTube is a special type of pull marketing. What are the advantages? Well, there are two. The first advantage is search. Okay, people are searching all around the world for your expertise, and YouTube has the best search engine for how-to content. In fact, YouTube is the #2 search engine overall. Google is the first, right? Well, if you search for how-to content on Google, typically Google will show you a YouTube video. So that's one huge advantage. The other advantage is YouTube's promotion engine. Okay, YouTube has a partner program, and when you're a part of that partner program, YouTube will promote your content. Here's the simplest way I've learned how to explain that. When you make a video that makes YouTube money, YouTube promotes that video. So not only can you have the advantage of search and having your target audience find you, but now YouTube will get behind those videos and promote them to new people. Now that you've caught the vision of the difference between push and pull marketing, I have a 5-ingredient formula that I want to share with you. I've recorded another episode. You can either click on it here or up here. The episode is how to get 1,000 subscribers a day on YouTube.